Welcome back to my channel, everyone. We're doing a what I eat in a week this week, and I hope that this can give you some help if you're struggling with food right now. You may have seen my series I started recently called I Gained the Weight Back, which this is a continuation of. I'm overwhelmed and floored by the response to this new series on my channel and opening up to you about this. It's incredible how many of you have messaged me to say that these videos have helped you, the conversation around weight, food, eating disorders, and having that kind of toxic relationship with food, exercise, and your body. It means that I'm just going to carry on doing this because it matters to me more than anything that I can be there for you if you're going through the same thing. So I have personally dealt with body dysmorphia, eating disorders, disordered eating habits, fluctuations in my weight, and feeling really self-conscious about my body. And I'm going to keep making these videos to help you through if you're going through the same thing. I have come a long way, I've learned a lot, I've overcome a lot, and hopefully I can share what I've learned and kind of go through that process with you whilst being completely honest and sharing how I feel in the moment, because I still struggle to this day. I really hope that this series can help me as well. So I'm going to share what I'm eating this week, intuitive eating, my understanding of what intuitive eating is, but also having that education of nutrition, and also challenging myself a little bit to kind of go outside of my comfort zone and address any sort of fears I have around food or any insecurities I have with my body. This video as well, just before I begin, is not one for comparison. This is not going to be everything I eat because I can guarantee I'll forget to film certain things. I am very different to you, you're different to me, so don't compare yourself. We have different bodies, we're on different parts of our journey, and I want these videos to be helpful and inspirational rather than comparison or making you feel rubbish about yourself. And hopefully I can give you some recipe ideas too, because it is now September and we're in cozy season, so we've got some cozy recipes coming up. So before anything, on an unusual day, I always have AG1 for a drink first before I eat anything. This is best drank on an empty stomach because it helps you to absorb the nutrients. And for me personally, I've suffered with a bad stomach and gut issues for a really long time. Maybe some of you who've been following me for a while know that I used to have these issues, and I have pretty much, I think anyway, I've basically healed my gut. My gut is so healthy now. I don't have issues with my stomach. I don't react to foods that I used to react to, and it has been such a journey. I've done so many things like intuitive eating. Intuitive eating has played a huge part in my kind of healing of my gut, because before then I was just on so many different diets that probably were the cause for my gut issues, and having this bad relationship with food is just gonna really not help your insides. So it really goes beyond the physical, and this is what I kind of want to share and bring up in this series, that the effects of food go beyond what you physically look like, and I find it much more supportive to focus on what food can bring me in terms of the health of my body and the happiness in my life. And so I always take a supplement every morning for my gut, and the one I drink is AG1. I drink this every day before I have anything, and I've been doing that for a really long time. I don't even know when, but I've been working with AG1 for a while, and they are sponsoring today's video. The reason that I love AG1, and I've shared it so many times, is because they're actually backed by science. Lots of other supplement brands don't have the credentials that AG1 have. I think they've got cumulatively like 139 years worth of experience with amongst all the scientists that back up this science behind AG1. People in the field of regenerative medicine, preventative medicine, longevity, biochemistry, so much more. The whole team has so much experience, and they also do get experts, third-party experts, to run scientific studies to actually back up the benefits of AG1. So for example, they recently did a study. It was a double-blind, randomized, placebo-controlled trial, and they found that the healthy guts that were in this study, their gut-friendly bacteria more than doubled. So it's really proven and shown to improve your gut microbiome, which is honestly the most important thing to me. It's really where you can start with your health, is your gut. And this has over 70 essential nutrients, so vitamins, minerals, and gut-friendly bacteria that are so good for your gut health, your energy, and so many other things. If any of you have struggled with your gut or with stomach problems, I'm sure you can relate. It really is quite debilitating, and it takes over your whole life, which is why probably I started to learn about intuitive eating in the first place. If I actually think back to the days when I used to share with you the issues I had with my stomach, I'm pretty certain that was my first kind of introduction to intuitive eating and when I really gave up dieting. So if you want to give AG1 a try, I'll leave a link below, and you do get a year's free supply of their vitamin D3 and K2, which is actually so applicable now that it's going to be getting darker and less sunny, as well as 5 free travel packs. I always take those with me whenever I go away. They're really, really useful. And I'm gonna have this now and then make myself some breakfast. I think we're gonna have my chickpea omelette as per usual. And I actually love the taste of this. In terms of drinks like this, it tastes really good. Thankfully, even though we have nothing in the fridge, Alex does still always make bread. We've got celery and carrot left over from last week that has, maybe even the week before, they've been in there a while. 1 onion left, and I did do a bulk order, so I've got chopped tomatoes. So I'm gonna make a very simple soup, also with some garlic actually. This is actually a really fabulous quick soup because it requires so little effort, and most of us have chopped tomatoes in our cupboards. So you just start with olive oil, and then I've got onion, carrot, celery. You could just do it with onion and garlic if you really have nothing in the fridge, but onion and garlic and celery adds just a nice flavour. One of the things that I would actually really suggest when it comes to building up your relationship with food is learning to cook, or if you don't like cooking, trying new recipes or trying to cook from scratch. Because for me anyway, it might be different for you. You may just be someone who's like, absolutely not, I'm not into cooking, but then probably why are you watching my channel? So most of you, I'm assuming, are into cooking. Learn some new recipes and build up that relationship with food where you understand kind of like where your food has come from and the effort it takes to make it. And something about that just really builds my happiness around food and gives me like a positive relationship with it. And try cooking some things that are like just happy foods. So not foods that like, oh, I'm cooking this from scratch because I'm making a healthy alternative, which is what honestly I used to do. The only time I used to take out of my day to cook something or bake something from scratch was to make a healthy alternative. So it was oil-free or sugar-free or dairy-free. And it kind of gave me this mindset that it was only worth my time if it was a diet food or if it was a health food. And what I've learned over the years and what I've learned more recently is to enjoy baking and cooking foods that are also foods that I just love. Happy foods, comfort foods, foods that make me feel happy, and just stop worrying about all the other kind of labels. And that can apply to things like soup, which on paper, you know, would be in those sorts of diet categories, a health food, but I get so much love and enjoyment from cooking myself a homemade soup. That makes me happy. And that's what I would recommend. Make your homemade soups and make your homemade brownies and just enjoy that process and bring that happiness back to food. Because maybe you've had it where food for a very long time has been all about counting calories, thinking about what ingredients it has, whether it's good for you, and that's a lot of noise. So relearning what food is and how you make it and enjoying this process and the reward you get from eating it afterwards is just a really lovely place to start that's really positive. So get yourself a nice little meal plan, write out what you're going to cook that week, go on Instagram, save some delicious recipes, and make some yummy foods for dinners and bake something comforting and cozy. It's, you know, a lovely time of year to do it. I'll link all of these recipes that I'm cooking today. So now I've done the onion, carrot and celery for a little bit. I'll add in some garlic and then fry that for a couple more minutes and then throw in the chopped tomatoes and blend it, and it's as simple as that. Once the tomatoes have cooked a bit, season it, blend it, have it with some fresh bread. I do also have a recipe on my website for a roasted tomato soup where you buy actual tomatoes, roast them in the oven. Oh, it is 10 out of 10. Now I'm going to add in my chopped tomatoes. And then I'm going to fill the tin. This is just very lazy. Stock. Vegetable stock. I'm also going to put a bit of nutritional yeast in here. And And I'm actually gonna get coconut milk and put a little bit of that in there too, so it tastes creamy. I'm not gonna do loads, just like, whoa, like that much, like a quarter of a jar. Then I'm bring this to a boil, cook for like 5 minutes, and then we can blend it. I would actually say that a hand blender is probably like up there as one of the top appliances you should have in your kitchen, because you can use it in replacement for a normal blender that's a lot more money. And I think I've had this since uni, and it was probably like, well, it was a hand-me-down, but I feel that you can buy them probably for about 10 or 15 pounds. And you can make smoothies, soups, anything, just with this little nifty little hand blender. Moment of truth. That literally took no time as well.
Literally?
Yeah, literally.
How's that possible? How's that possible?
Literally is a hyperbole, Alex. Delish.
Can you slurp some more?
It's Tuesday, I've got a shoot today. I'm having my little omelette. I haven't got a smoothie because our blender broke. I have been using the little hand blender to blend my morning smoothies, but we're making granola today. So I'm gonna have a second breakfast, just like Lord of the Rings. What's the quote when he's like, but what about second breakfast?
We do not stop till nightfall.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast? Don't think he knows about second breakfast, Pip.
Yeah, so I think we'll start with the granola, and I'll have that with some yogurt as my second breakfast, but go to every day. And if you have something that you love, intuitive eating, I honestly believe is exactly this, is if you love something and it makes you feel good and it's an enjoyable breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, whatever, then keep having it and enjoy it. And I love this. I vary the vegetables. This is mushrooms today. Sometimes I'll put vegan cheese in it, but we don't have any actually today. Sometimes I'll have it with toast. Sometimes I have it with a smoothie. It's just like my dream breakfast. It's made with chickpea flour, and I harp on about it loads, but the recipe is in my cookbook and I absolutely love it. Alex pretty much also has it every day. He has his, though, either plain or with tomatoes. And some hot sauce.
I heard the name.
Yeah, just bitching about you.
Oh. What's new?
Our first recipe, we're making a granola, and it has quite a lot of different ingredients like nuts and seeds and fruits, and when the recipe's live I will link it so you can follow along, but it's quite a simple one, and it's a nice apple and cinnamon autumn granola we're going to make. I wish you could smell this granola. We've got applesauce and maple syrup and coconut oil and cinnamon and nuts and cranberries. It's literally heaven on earth. Look at this. So it's been in the oven for like 10 minutes. And now you just want to turn it and kind of, oh, oven's angry at me. Give it a turn. Ignore the hob. And like squish it down so we get some bits sticking together, and then you get those nice clumps. This is honestly the loveliest smell. And then back in the oven for 10 minutes. Whoops. Behind the scenes, getting that shot. Look how good it looks.
Very big espresso.
It's actually decaf, so
I
might have it. Look at this. Taste test, mid-shoot. That's really nice. Next up is autumn goulash. Look at that, we've got dumplings in there. And this will be on my website soon, so stay tuned. But oh my god, I'm so excited to eat this. Look at the dumplings. Look at those dumplings. Shoot days is just me nibbling on all the food throughout the day. This is the final recipe of our shoot. A lovely roasted butternut squash soup, and it's got roasted apple and it's got orange, I think it had in there. Loads of lovely ingredients like maple syrup, cinnamon, so it's super autumnal. And look at this setup, we shot it over here. We're trying to do different shots around the kitchen, and this just looks so cute. And like I said, any recipes that are live, I'll link below, or they'll go live very shortly. So just follow the website, or on my Instagram, I'll share like a reel when they go up. I've got to clean this whole kitchen. I actually did have a bowl of that goulash for lunch. It was so good and so easy. I had this idea in my mind that dumplings are like a difficult thing to make, but they're so quick. You just mix together some flour and butter with a bit of water, and I put loads of parsley and lemon zest in there, and then you cook them in the stew, and it's so simple and so delicious and hearty. So I'm definitely doing that again. I went blackberry picking yesterday. I didn't film it, I just went out because I fancied making this blackberry banana bread. It's a new recipe and it is on my website. You just make your usual banana bread, and add blackberries in, and it really makes it super delicious. I've got a little bit left over of green and blacks, and then this is from, I think, one of those Just Roll like pan au chocolat, but we've saved this chocolate. I'm not sure why there's extra chocolate, but I'm just going to use it. You don't have to put chocolate in it, you can just stick with the blackberries, and you can put whatever chocolate you like in. And I think that I actually do recommend using more, like a whole packet of this, but I don't have it. And it's really simple. You just mix together your dry ingredients and then add in the wet ingredients, or the other way around, sorry. And you've got yourself a really yummy blackberry banana bread, and the recipe is just here on my website. Let me show you what it looks like. Look at that, absolutely delicious. So I just really want it, and I have to now. I've picked all these amazing blackberries, just look at them. We have got my banana bread batter, and I've popped the little blackberries on top. So easy. And then you just chuck it in the oven and it cooks for 45 minutes, and then it should come out a delicious golden brown blackberry banana bread. So go get picking because it's the perfect time. The hedges are full of them. The alarm's just gone off. Absolutely beautiful, look at that, oh my gosh. Look at how glorious this is. I love seeing the inside where the blackberries have cooked and they go lovely in purple. So good. And it's a rule that you have it with a cup of tea. Shoot days are so long and tiring because I did that photo shoot with Ali, and then I shot a recipe. I did the blackberry banana bread. I shot it for Instagram as well, so it's very long-winded. I'm so hungry, and I actually just want to have exactly what I had for lunch, the dumpling stew, the goulash. I've whacked my hair up in a high ponytail because, oh, that feeling getting it out your face. I'm just gonna heat this up and have exactly the same thing as I had for lunch, which I often do with leftovers, which I don't think Alex does as much because he is a bit like he wants something different for dinner, but I just want that with loads of bread. And I was so lazy earlier and there was so much clearing up to do, I just chucked it in this big bowl because we ran out. We ran out of things to store. And I really don't want to cut these dumplings in here up too much. This also, I think if you make this recipe when it does go live eventually, you could totally double this because then you'd have quite a lot of it. I feel like with stews like this, you want to have, it's quite nice to have lots of it. But oh my goodness, got one portion left, like a lunch, there's like a lunch portion left basically. And also you could chuck in whatever vegetables you like, it wouldn't even matter. So I'm just gonna heat this up in the microwave and then have it with loads of bread. Something I was thinking earlier when it comes to work and food is that I have had negative thoughts surrounding work shoot days, like food shoots, because I'm eating a lot of food and snacking on the food, not really stopping for lunch, and it's a very busy shoot day. And I was thinking that potentially lots of you have a similar experience when it comes to going to work and the food that you bring with you, or even like work dues or work events, or if you get food at your workplace. I don't know, just that kind of negative feeling around it. Maybe it's the change of routine, maybe it's the kind of lack of control that potentially a lot of us feel. What I like to do when I have those feelings and thoughts, because I think they're so ingrained in us that we should be having breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it should be specified, or it should be planned, or there are fear foods that we have, is I allow those thoughts to come, but I just let them pass. They don't have to be listened to. I can hear a thought that says, shouldn't have lunch because you've had, you know, a burger earlier when you were doing, or you've had like, you know, half a burger when you were filming. I allow those thoughts to come in and then I go, well, am I hungry though? Because I actually haven't sat down to eat a proper meal, and I'm reasonable about it. And I just wanted to share that because it did make me wonder whether some of you have the same. If you go to work and there's cake offered because it's someone's birthday, or if you have catering at work and that has stressed you out, or even just bringing your own food and the judgment from other people, or kind of feeling like, I used to feel this way when I worked in an office, that I felt a bit embarrassed about my food's ready. Sometimes I would feel a little bit embarrassed about my food because I was vegan, and also because I had this funny idea that people would judge me for how much or how little I ate, usually for how much. And I used to kind of want to eat more, or I would kind of do it in a bit of a secretive way, like I'd snack. And all those insecurities can really pop up when you're around other people, and it can feed into disordered eating habits. So I'd really recommend to just really understand when those thoughts come up and then let them pass, and have your kind of, I don't know, your backup or your sensible brain kind of go, you know, I've got it taken care of. Think about things, whether, are you hungry? Is this the time that you usually eat? Will this bring you joy if you've got cake offered to you at work? And are there things that I can do to make myself feel more comfortable? And remember that, you know, food is fuel and it's for comfort and enjoyment. So I'm going to enjoy my dinner and have lots of bread with it, and not have those kind of thoughts in my brain that I've been snacking and having, you know, I've had 2 breakfasts and probably 2 lunches because I had quite a lot of that soup as well. I'm just gonna like enjoy the fact that I'm so lucky to have this abundance of food, and I am hungry, so I'm gonna have my dinner. The dumplings. It's Wednesday today. I like my outfit as well. I've got my little cream jeans on, or trousers. These are vintage, and they were such a good find because they are so high-waisted on me. They go all the way up past my belly button, which never happens because they're vintage, and they go all the way down to my ankles. Miracle find, I can't believe, and they literally fit me like a glove. Got my Crocs on though to really amp up the look. I'm gonna make myself some granola. I'm actually gonna break the cycle of having a chickpea omelette for breakfast pretty much every single day for like months. Because we made all this granola, obviously, and it's just so good. We've got loads of delicious fruit, so I'm gonna have this for breakfast with coffee.
Heart cold, whisper gently saying you don't know how to keep on trying. It shows something's changing in me. It shows now I'm highly grateful.
My delicious decaf coffee. I switched to decaf recently because I noticed that coffee had been kind of making me feel anxious. And this is kind of within the realms of intuitive eating, because I didn't drink coffee for years at the same time I didn't drink alcohol. And that decision was kind of surrounding the anxious feeling it gave me, same as alcohol. I did a video years ago about why I gave up alcohol, reasons like not wanting to be drunk, not loving the anxiety that I would get, and the feeling I would have from drinking. I've definitely had an up and down relationship with alcohol. More recently, I've been trying to reduce again. I do have this kind of feeling now, since giving up alcohol for, I think it was 3 or 4 years I didn't drink. I enjoy drinking with friends, family, celebrating, that kind of thing. The issue I have is kind of stopping, or drinking, you know, when I'm feeling not great and I'm feeling sad. So recently I've been trying to be more mindful again, and this is what you can apply to food or anything that you notice that you don't feel like you have control over, or you feel like it's kind of taking over you. So if you have a history of binge eating or drinking, or kind of just feeling like this lack of control around food, just try and be more mindful of it. And that's what I'm really practicing. It's the thing I'm working on at the minute with alcohol, where I'm just going to be enjoying alcohol for family things, you know, having a glass of wine if I'm with friends, not really drinking at home because there's not really any need unless Alex and I are gonna like have a date night or something. And it's been going really, really well. I've barely been drinking alcohol. I think I've had a couple glasses or 3 glasses of wine maybe in the last month or so, which is a really positive change. So you can apply that to anything, like I said, and it makes a massive difference. I have extended that to coffee because I had noticed, I think when my mental health is, when I'm working on something, when something is kind of a bit of a struggle, if you've just recently had a time where you've been finding things difficult, coffee, for me anyway, as someone who is anxious, it tends to not help. If I'm feeling fine, I can usually reintroduce coffee, but I like to kind of be aware. And do you know what, realistically, I bought some decaf coffee beans, and Alex was like, I'm happy just to use those, because he was like, I can have a coffee in the evening. So I don't know if we're gonna switch back. I'm not missing it. Very grateful for this amazing bowl of granola and fruit. Wow. Does it honestly taste like pudding? Coconut yogurt is unreal. And so is this granola. I really want to keep making that granola so that I can have variety, so I can have sweet or savoury depending what I fancy. I personally never liked shop bought cereal ever since I was little, maybe Cocoa Pops, but never been a fan. But homemade granola is delicious, especially if you've got yummy fruit. This was the summer fruit bag from Riverford, and then blackberries I picked. Lunch is a nice hearty bowl of the same thing I had for dinner and lunch yesterday, which is boring, but realistically, this is what I think intuitive eating is. I get hooked onto something and I want to eat it again and again, and this is delicious and just what I'm craving. I'm gonna have it with some bread as well. No, that's my dumpling. How good are the dumplings though? Like, I want to just make them all the time. They're so easy. I have been delivered a decaf coffee. I'm doing this one-handed. Oh no, could you just hold that? That's gonna go all over my white outfit. Careful.
You got it?
Ah, no, you've got that face on you.
What?
You've got that silly face, stop. No, because you're going to pretend and then it's going to actually cause an accident. No, ow! I don't know why I said ow. Stop. Oh my God, this is what it's like being married to a prankster. It's just taken the bread. The banana bread. Give it. Oh, did you actually lick it? He's the sole cause of my anxiety. I think that if you're married or with someone who is a prankster, I can almost guarantee that you're an anxious person, because it's almost like a match made in hell. It's like, you love it so much.
Go on, eat up.
And I'm the perfect, what's the word? Not audience, but like, because my reactions are so extreme.
Yeah.
Like Alex... He'll run around a corner and I will literally scream as if like I'm dying. What are you trying to wait for?
Nothing, I just want to see your reaction when you eat it. Freshly prepared by me.
What did you do to it?
Nothing.
No, what did you do to it?
Can't you taste it?
Can you just tell me?
The poison.
There you go, there's your Alex cameo for the video. It's dinner and we're making my creamy mushroom or garlic mushroom pasta. This recipe is so easy, it only takes 20 minutes, and these are all the ingredients. And you can actually sub the mushrooms if you want to know just how to make a creamy vegan pasta easily. Tahini is the key, and you could use courgettes or tender stem broccoli or peppers or tomatoes, but tahini is what kind of makes it simple, because a lot of the creamy vegan pastas involve blending cashews. You can also even sub it for a vegan cream, like soy cream, which they do sell in the UK now, or even a creme fraiche. But this is one that I always have in the fridge, and you just mix it with some non-dairy milk, some nutritional yeast, some garlic, and it really makes an amazing creamy pasta. It tastes so good. So I'm just going to whip this up really fast and we'll have this for dinner. Such fun mushrooms. It's always good to save pasta water, so I just shove a mug in and then set that aside before I drain this. Alex isn't back from walking Roxy yet, and I'm not gonna wait because it's too creamy and yummy, and pasta's best fresh, and I want him to enjoy his dog walk. I did say like dinner will be ready in 20 minutes, but also just to enjoy the dog walk and take Roxy for as long as you want. But this is so creamy. I hope you can see it on camera. And I personally see this as like a pantry staple because I always have mushrooms. I buy them every week, like I buy beans, like I buy tofu. Alex always buys linguine or spaghetti because it's his favourite. We always have tahini in the fridge. We always have oat milk for drinks. And then fresh herbs. I mean, I'm lucky that I've got some pots with some fresh herbs, and I really recommend doing that if you've got a windowsill. Get some rosemary, oregano, basil, mint, those kinds of herbs that you can just grow on your windowsill, so you can always have them to add to meals. I always have onion and garlic. So it's kind of one of those meals that you can just be like, oh shit, what am I gonna have for dinner? And it's there. And I eat pasta all the time. I know pasta is a fear food for a lot of people because it's a carb, but pasta is so good for you and so enriching. Like, think of Mediterranean diets. This was what I think I've definitely taught myself when I first was a bit afraid, or when I used to be a bit afraid of things like rice and pasta, is to remember that the healthiest people in the world, Mediterraneans, eat loads of grains, and pasta is a staple in their diet. Same as all the healthiest people in Asia are eating so much rice, because carbohydrates are the kind of the way that every culture in the UK, for example, it's potatoes. Every culture has a grain that they live off, or a starchy vegetable to keep them full. It's what keeps you energized, and cutting it out is never a good idea. Pasta is life, pasta is happiness. So enjoy your pasta. And I really wish I had some of the Violife Parmesan right now, or some of my homemade Parmesan, which is actually really easy to make. You can just blend like almonds, nutritional yeast, and salt, I think. It's really simple, and maybe some herbs is in there as well. But I usually have the Violife Parmesan block, or if you're not vegan or vegetarian, then you can obviously use Parmesan. But I'm assuming this recipe probably wouldn't be suitable because you just go with cream. Like my meal is aesthetically matching my outfit, and I just heard Alex's back. Hello.
Hello.
Time for this chocolate. My brother-in-law and his girlfriend stayed last week and they gave me this, and I need to finish it. It's really good actually. If you're after a good vegan cheese, this is one of the best. And I'm going to watch Real Housewives of Potomac and watch housewives argue with each other as a way to wind down. Good morning. I've just gone for a lovely walk with Roxy. It was raining, the leaves were falling. It feels like autumn. It was 10 degrees when I woke up this morning and got in the car. Can you believe that? I was actually cold. My hands were cold. I was like, whoa, I need to put like a jumper on, because I was not expecting that. I'm gonna make my breakfast now. I usually get ready first, but I'm hungry, so that's a thing to listen to if you're hungry and outside of your routine. Like, as much as routines are good, and this is, I do have this issue. I am a little bit OCD, and I'm not saying that in a flippant way. I actually do have OCD, health anxiety, and it's something that I have dealt with. So, but not in the cleanliness thing, but in the kind of like routine thing. I just struggle with those kinds of things. So when I feel hungry outside of my routine of when I eat, I beat myself up for it, and I think, no, you should wait, go get ready, and then I end up being grumpy, and then it makes me in a bad mood, and then blah, 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 blah. So I'm just gonna eat now. It doesn't matter if it's outside my routine. I put classic FM because I wanted something relaxing to start my day with, and they're playing the Star Wars theme tune. I'm not a Star Wars fan, and this is too much da 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 da. It's like not the most relaxing. I've just been in Penzance and got some goodies from a bakery called Loafs, which I've not had before, but I always pass it and I think, oh my god, it looks so good. So I got a chocolate brownie and like a ginger oat. I'm gonna have this when I get home, but I'm really hungry, so I wanna have a bite now. First of all, the size, epic, and these are vegan. They had like vegan sandwiches and loads of vegan yummy things. Oh boy, that's a good brownie. And then we've got a ginger oat, I think it's like a flapjack. Oh my god, that's so autumnal, the ginger. Oh my goodness. Wowie. I need to get home, have my lunch so I can have that with a cup of tea, because that is unreal. Lunch is my butternut squash soup that we made the other day on the shoot. And I'm excited because I actually haven't had a bowl of this yet. It's so nice. It's a bit different because I put apples, a little bit of vinegar. It has a different flavour to your usual butternut squash soup because I know there's lots of those on the internet. So yummy. Honestly, there's nothing I want more this time of year than soup every day. I wonder if I'll go back to porridge. I got my lazy ass off the sofa to show you what Alex is cooking. So this is a recipe from Pinch of Yum, and it's a coconut curry ramen. So tofu's in the oven, you got your broth, and then these are the toppings.
Yes. You can try that, or you can leave it.
Oh, what is this, like for chilli sauce on top? So I'll link the recipe, but this looked like quite a nice easy one and sounded delicious, so I decided to try it. Roxy! No! You're wet! Here it is, we've got our lovely tofu with the coconutty broth and the ramen. Let's, oh look what he's done. I hate, he's done this deliberately. Have you done this deliberately with the colours?
What colours?
Oh, you know what colours. It's lovely. Oh boy.
Colours?
Oh, the chopsticks.
No, no. Oh, they're not the same.
No.
I thought they were.
Okay, I've got Minnie Mouse hair.
Oh!
Or is it a hun bun?
What?
Yes. Thanks, darling.
That's okay, sweetheart.
I was like, what are those little bits? Sesame. For lunch we've got some leftovers from last night, the broth, the curry ramen broth, utterly delicious. I added a bit more water because it was a little bit thick. Honestly, I think leftovers are the hack to just enjoying your food, because I always make extra and it means that my lunches are always delicious and it makes me want to sit down and eat my food. Whereas when I don't have leftovers, I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna have? And it's such a faff to make something from scratch or figure out what I can throw together. Just, I always have leftovers, to be honest, because it's so much easier. It's that time of year for cozy, soupy food. Time to have my coffee at the window seat with some of the banana bread. Looks so good. The colour of it. This evening we're at my parents' for pizza. Looks good.